Well, everyone, Tony Costa here from Toronto Apologetics. So glad that you could join us. I'd like to remind you again, if you are a first-time viewer, to subscribe to the channel, Toronto Apologetics. It's absolutely free. And what are you waiting for? You have a lot of apologetic resources here on this channel, and it is absolutely free at your fingertips. Also ask that you like the video and also share the video with others. You'll also be noticing that in some of my videos, I've been having this little sheep here that's been following me around. I just can't, he can't get away from me for some reason. And you may have noticed him in some of the other videos. And this is the one out of the 99 sheep that went missing. And the shepherd left the 99 sheep behind just to find this little guy. And so he seems to have grown fond of me, and he likes to hang out when I do my videos. So I hope you like him. I don't have a name for him yet, but maybe I will. So in this video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to discuss a number of videos on social media have been circulating where it says that the Pope Leo XIV, the new Pope, in his papal prayer in Rome at the Vatican, there's some videos going around claiming that Pope Leo XIV prayed to Mary and called her God. And so I've been noticing this. I noticed it again today, this morning when I was scrolling through my Twitter account and YouTube and so forth. And been noticing that this allegation, this statement has been making the rounds on social media. And so what I wanted to do was address this issue and see whether or not Pope Leo XIV did in fact call Mary God. What I wanted to do is I want to share a video that I saw this morning by Justin Peters, and in this video, Justin Peters is addressing this question, and you'll notice on the top left corner of the screen, did the new Pope just call Mary God? And so we're just going to listen to a portion of this video. We're not going to listen to the whole thing, but let's take a listen on what Justin Peters says here. I will pause the video when necessary, just to make any necessary remarks and commentary. So let's listen in, and let's pay close attention to what Justin Peters is saying here. I just want to make sure, folks, just give me a minute. Just want to make sure that we are all queued up here in terms of sound. And it looks like we are. So without any further ado, let's listen in to Justin Peters here.
And Pope Leo XIV. This is the first American Pope, and he made his big debut on May 8th. I was actually in a restaurant. I was at one of these churches. I was at a restaurant when this was happening, and I was kind of keeping an eye on the television, and he came out and he made his big first appearance. And something caught my ear when he gave his address. Now, he gave his address in Italian. Even though he's American, he's multilingual. So he's giving his address in Italian because, after all, they were in Rome. Understandable. If you can speak Italian, why not when you're in Rome? And but I wasn't sure that I heard it right, and so I listened to it again later on YouTube, and sure enough. Now, I want to play this for you, and it's going to speak for itself. Now, in fairness, I don't speak Italian, and his voice was kind of, it was lowered, and you primarily hear the voice of the translators.
Okay, so let me just say up front that to Justin's credit, Justin Peters is openly admitting that he does not know Italian, and that he's simply going on what the English translator said during the Pope's prayer. Now, let me just say, for the record, that I am not a Roman Catholic. I'm a former Roman Catholic. I'm a Reformed Baptist by confession. And I have debated Roman Catholics. I have taught on Roman Catholicism. And my position is that the Roman Catholic Church teaches another gospel, that it's not the gospel of grace. But one thing that I try to remain committed to is truth. We do not misrepresent other people. We don't misrepresent their position. To do so would be deceptive. If we follow the one who claimed to be the truth, then we should be concerned about truth. Truth matters. And so, what I'm trying to say here is that as believers in Christ, we ought to speak the truth in love, Ephesians 4:15, and we ought to speak it in such a way that we represent the other side adequately and accurately. And so let me just say that just as a preface to the rest of what I will say.
So is it possible that the translator mistranslated him? It's possible, but if that was a mistranslation, it was a big boo boo.
Yeah, and I would agree with Justin there that it would definitely be, in his words, a big boo boo, because that's a very very serious mistranslation if there ever was one. So we're going to take a listen again to Justin, and then we will actually listen to what the Pope said in Italian, and I will give you the translation of what he said into English as well.
So anyway, I'm just going to let this play, and I want you to listen to it. Here we go.
Oggi
Today,
il giorno della supplica alla Madonna di Pompei.
this is the day of the supplication to the Madonna of Pompeii. Our Mother Mary always wanted to accompany us and be near us, to help us with her love. And I should like to, therefore, pray together with you. Let us pray for this new mission, for the entire Church and for peace in the world. And let us ask for this special grace from Mary, our God.
Ave Maria.
And let us ask for this special grace from Mary, our God.
Ave Maria.
Let us ask for this special grace from Mary, our God. Now, I've looked up the transcript, and in the transcripts of this, he says Mary, the transcripts report him as saying Mary, our mother, but clearly the translator said Mary, our God. And again, his audio has been lowered, so you just hear the translator. But those two words in Italian, God and mother, are not related. I mean,
He's correct. So, as we will see in a minute, they're not related at all. In fact, they don't even sound alike at all. So, I'm glad that Justin mentioned that. So, we'll be talking a little bit more about what he actually said and what the transcript actually says, and realize that there really is, at bottom level, no phonetic equivalence. That is, the words don't even sound alike. The word for God and mother in Italian don't sound alike. So that being the case, once again, we want to get to the bottom of this and figure out what was said. Did he really say Mary or God? Was the Pope, was it a faux pas on the part of the Pope, or was it a faux pas, a blunder, a slip on the part of the English translator? So we'll get to that in a second.
they don't even sound alike. So if the translator blew it, that's a big miss.
Yeah, not only a big miss, it's a colossal miss if he actually said that.
So I don't know exactly what he said. But if he did say Mary, our God, dear friends, that's bad. Now, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he actually did say Mary, our mother, and for some reason this guy translated as Mary, our God.
Yeah, And as we shall see, um, the English translator actually slipped. He actually goofed up. Not only was that a colossal mistranslation, I guess on the level with the New World Translation of the Jehovah's Witnesses, or rather, would I say the New World Mistranslation? Um, and the issue here, the issue here is if that translator mistranslated that part. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's huge. That would end somebody's career. That is a massive blunder. So either the Pope wasn't articulating his words, or the English translator was hard of hearing. It's one of those. So what I want to do at this point is I want to share the video of the Pope, the actual video from the Vatican. So let me just get rid of that and open this one up here. So what I want to do at this point is I want us to look at the actual video of the Pope speaking in Italian, and I will translate for you. And let me just cue this up here, and let's get this up. This is from Vatican News. Vatican News, and we want to take a look at, let me just bring us to our point here. So this is where he's going to start praying and making reference to the part where the English translator claimed that he said, Mary, our God. So let's just take a listen here. And if you are a native Italian speaker, you will probably understand this. Anyway, so let's take a listen.
Nel mondo e chiediamo questa grazia speciale di Maria, nostra madre.
Okay, so let me just play that again. Okay, now look at the English subtitles. You've got some English subtitles. Now, in case somebody says, oh, this is the Vatican News website, and they have they've mumbled his words, or they've edited them, or maybe it's AI or something. No. This is the same words that he used in the video that Justin Peters was looking at. And what I want you to do is, as the Pope is speaking, I want you to look at the subtitles on the screen. So let's try this again.
La Chiesa per la pace nel mondo e chiediamo questa grazia speciale di Maria, nostra madre.
There it is. So do you see it on the screen, folks? He said, from Mary, our mother, Nostre Madre, in Italian, our mother. He doesn't say our God. You can clearly hear him say Nostre Madre, which means our mother. So let's take a listen one more time so you can hear it.
E chiediamo questa grazia speciale di Maria, nostra madre.
There it is. And so let's just finish the rest here. Not too much to go here.
Ave Maria, piena di grazia.
Then he goes on here to pray the Hail Mary, or the Ave Maria, and he's praying it, of course, in Italian. So a couple of things I want you to notice here, folks, and that is that the Pope did not say Mary, our God. Now, again, I'm not an advocate for Roman Catholicism. Actually, a lot of my work in apologetics is also aimed at reaching Roman Catholics with the gospel of grace. But when something is wrong, we call it wrong. It doesn't matter who says it. If someone represents, I've had people misrepresenting Mormons. I've had people misrepresenting what Jehovah's Witnesses believe, or Seventh-day Adventists, or whatever group there is out there. By misrepresenting what some of these groups believe is not God-honoring, because you're being equally deceptive. We need to speak the truth in all matters. The truth should matter to us. And so what the Pope actually said there was Nostra Madre, and referring to Mary, of course, Maria in Italian. So what I wanted to do here at this point is I want to share with you the PowerPoint that I put together here so that you could see for yourself what the Pope actually said. And so there on the top in Italian, he says, Chiediamo questa grazia speciale a Maria, nostra madre. So I put that in bold there. So nostra madre in Italian means our mother. Just like in Spanish, the word for mother in Spanish is madre. Okay? So in French, it's different. It's mier, and in Portuguese, it's mãe. So you could see here that that madre there is mother. So the English translation underneath, let us ask for this special grace from Mary, our mother. So that's what the Pope said. And again, I don't believe in prayers to Mary. I don't believe Mary should be prayed to. I don't believe Mary should be exalted above Jesus Christ. She's not the Queen of Heaven. We do not accept the Marian dogmas of the Immaculate Conception of 1854 and the Assumption of 1950. And so it's very, very clear that while we as evangelical Christians reject that they want to call it veneration, we don't see veneration or worship as being distinctive in the Bible, that all acts of worship, prayer and hymns and songs and invocation and bowing, all these expressions are in the context of prayer. They're indicative of worship. It encompasses what we call worship. So that's what he said. That's what he said. And the other thing we ought to notice as well is that there's a huge difference between the word God and mother in Italian. And so in English, we pronounce the word God. In Italian, the word for God is Dio. Dio is the Italian word for God. In English, again, we speak of the female parent as mother. But in Italian, it's madre. Now, you will notice that on the right side, the Italian word and the Italian word for God and the Italian word for mother don't even sound the same. Dio and madre do not sound the same at all. Completely different sounds altogether. So there's no way that an English translator would confuse Dio and madre, or God and mother. So clearly, the English translator slipped up. It was a massive faux pas. It is a massive slip, a massive blunder. And so, as I said before, we need to be careful, folks, that we don't go around misrepresenting those that we care about for the sake of the gospel. We need to be accurate. We need to understand that when people, for example, tell me that Roman Catholics are worshiping Mary, and they are, even though they deny it, I always inform my students that in the Roman Catholic worldview, they don't see that as worship. They'll call it veneration. The veneration, Mary's worthy of hyperdulia, hyperveneration, and the saints of dulia, and of course Joseph, Saint Joseph, Mary's husband, is he's worthy of protodulia, first veneration, primary veneration, but Mary is hyperveneration. So this is why I teach my students to understand that in the language of Roman Catholicism, the cultic relationship with Mary and the saints, they won't call it worship because they know that that would amount to idolatry. And so they finagle with the words latria, worship, and dulia, veneration. And of course, those terms don't even exist in the Roman Catholic interpretation of words. Those words don't even exist in the Bible as separate categories. In other words, Moses didn't come down from Mount Sinai, and the Israelites were saying, well, Moses we're not, don't get upset with us. We're not worshiping the golden calf. We're simply venerating it. We're venerating it as a representation of God, but we're not worshiping God himself in this calf. That wouldn't fly with Moses. In fact, it didn't. So all that to say, folks, is we need to, once again, let us be accurate. We're not doing ourselves any service by misrepresenting the other side. We need to be truthful. We need to be accurate and accurately represent the other side. And this is something that I've learned in my about 40 years or so of outreach to Muslims, is that I've had many Muslims say to me, we don't agree with you. We don't agree with what you're saying. We don't like what you're saying about our Quran and our Prophet Muhammad and so on and so forth. But at least we can see that you try to be accurate in your analysis of what we believe, that you try to be accurate in your exegesis of the Quran, and you try to communicate truthfully. And that is huge. That's how you gain people's trust. If you're deceptive and you're double-minded, people are not they're not gonna trust you. We have to be truthful and accurate in these respects. So again, folks, I hope you found this video delightful. Hope you found it inspiring. Just want to remind you again of my new book, No King But Christ, The Collapse and Bankruptcy of Secular Worldviews. It's now available on Amazon. It deals with the contemporary state of the West and why we are where we are. Why are we in the mess that we are? Why does it look like the world in the West, the Western world, is just falling apart? There's no moral code. There's moral decline. Everything seems to be going woke and leftist. I'm going to put a link in the description box below for this book. It's available on Amazon. The other thing I also want to mention is I'm going to provide the full transcript of what the Pope said in the description box as well, so you can take a look at that. So thanks again, everyone, for joining, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to Toronto Apologetics. Take care, everybody. God bless. Bye for now.